Hello everyone, this is the fourth video of mole concept and stoichiometry, and we will start this video with empirical and molecular formula. So first of all, we will know what is the definition of empirical formula, and then we will see what is the relationship between empirical and molecular formula. So first of all, empirical formula is the formula of a compound which gives a simple whole number ratio of atoms of different elements present in that compound. So let's see how the empirical formula works. So formula of glucose, that is C6H12O6. If we will see the ratio of atoms of different element, that is the ratio of carbon to hydrogen to oxygen, that is 6:12:6. But if you will convert it into a simple whole number ratio, you know that it will be divided by 6, that will be 1:2:1. So simple whole number ratio is 1:2:1. So what will be the empirical formula of glucose? That will be C1H2O1, or you just can say CH2O. So this is the empirical formula of glucose. Similarly, the formula, molecular formula of hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2. So what is the ratio? That is 2:2. So you can cancel it, that is 1:1. So the empirical formula will be HO, H1O1, that is HO. So hope you have understood how the empirical formula works. So please tell me in the comment box what should be the empirical formula of C4H10. So now we will see what is the difference between molecular and empirical formula, and what is the relationship between molecular and empirical formula. So if you will see the relationship between molecular and empirical formula, from here you can see that it was divided by a factor of 6 and then empirical formula comes. So to calculate the molecular formula from empirical formula, molecular formula is given by empirical formula whole n. Now what is the meaning of this n? So this n can be calculated with the help of mass, that is molecular mass divided by empirical formula mass. Like we can see that molecular mass of glucose, that is C6, so 6:12 plus for hydrogen 12:1 plus oxygen 6:16, so that is equal to 180. So what will be the value of n? That will be 180 divided by empirical formula mass, that is C1. C1 is carbon 12 plus H2, 2 plus oxygen 1, that is 16. So that is equal to 30. So that will be divided by 30. So this is equal to 6. So what will be the molecular formula? That will be empirical formula whole n. The value of n is 6. The empirical formula is CH2O whole 6. So multiply each number by 6. So it will become C6H12O6. So hope you have understood the difference between molecular and empirical formula, and how can you find out the molecular formula with the help of empirical formula. So molecular formula of the compound is given by empirical formula whole n, where n is molecular mass divided by empirical formula mass. Empirical formula mass can be calculated with the help of empirical formula. So now we will see some numericals on which we can calculate empirical formula, and then with the help of empirical formula we can calculate molecular formula. Remember one thing, that with the help of empirical formula you can calculate molecular formula only when the molecular mass of the compound is given. If the molecular mass is not given, so you cannot find out what is the molecular formula. So we have a question here, that is an organic compound is found to contain 54.4% carbon, 9.13% hydrogen and rest oxygen. Calculate empirical formula of the compound. So how can we calculate the empirical formula of a compound with the help of percentage composition? The first question is it possible? So in previous class, that is in class 9th, we have learned how to calculate the percentage composition with the help of formula of a compound. So now we are going to do reverse of that. We are going to calculate the empirical formula with the help of percentage composition. So for that we are going to form a table, and with the help of that table we can calculate the empirical formula very easily. So first of all, we will see which elements do we have. So first column in that table will be of elements. So we have 3 elements, that is carbon, second is hydrogen, and third one is oxygen. First column is complete. If you have 4 or if you have only 2 elements, you have to list only those elements. Now the second list, that is of atomic masses. So column for atomic mass. So you know that atomic mass of carbon is 12, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, atomic mass of oxygen is 16. The second column is also complete. Now the third column is also easy. In third column we have to write percentage composition of each element. So what is the percentage composition of hydrogen? That is given in the question, 54.4%. Percentage composition of hydrogen, that is also given, 9.13%. And then percentage composition of oxygen, it is not given, but it is given that rest is oxygen. So you know that the total will be 100%. Out of that 100%, 54.4 is carbon, 9.13 is hydrogen. So let's see how much 54.4 plus 9.13 is. So that is equal to 63.53. So 63.53% is carbon and hydrogen together. So oxygen will be 100 minus 63.53. So that will be 36.47%. So write down here 36.47. So this column is also completed. Now the next column is all about relative number of atoms. So this is a little bit tricky. So what is the formula for relative number of atoms? That is equal to percentage composition divided by atomic mass. So if you have this formula, you can calculate the relative number of atoms very easily. So that will be 54.4 divided by 12. This is 19.13 divided by 1. 36.47 divided by 16. So you can calculate it very easily. So this will become 4.53 approximately. This will become 9.13 already, and this will become 2.28. So if you will see, this is the relative number of atoms. Now we will have simplest ratio of number of atoms. So what will be the simplest ratio? Simplest ratio can be calculated by dividing the smallest number. What is the smallest number out of these 3? This is 2.28. So we can divide 4.53 by 2.28, 9.13 divided by 2.28, and 2.28 divided by 2.28. So that is equal to, approximately it is equal to 2. It is slightly less than 2. It is about 1.9 something. So we can write it approximately equal to 2. Now this is approximately equal to 4, and this is approximately, not approximately but exactly equal to 1. Now we already have a simplest whole number ratio here. If we don't have a simplest whole number ratio, we can make a column for simplest whole number ratio, but we already have it. So we can write down that simplest whole number ratio, that is 2:4:1. Now the ratio of number of atoms, carbon 2, hydrogen 4 and oxygen 1. So what will be the empirical formula? Empirical formula of the compound will be C2, 2 atoms of carbon, H4, 4 atoms of hydrogen, and oxygen 1 atom. So it will be C2H4O. So hope you have understood how to solve the numerical problems related to empirical formula. The next topic is stoichiometry. So the concept of stoichiometry gives us the relationship between the amount of reactants and the amount of products in a chemical reaction. So with the help of the concept of stoichiometry, we can find out how much reactants is required to form a particular amount of product, or how much product can be formed with the help of a particular amount of reactant. So let's see how does the stoichiometry work. So for example, we have a chemical equation here, that is CaCO3. On heating, it will form CaO plus CO2. So you can see from the equation, if we have one molecule of calcium carbonate, it will give one molecule of CaO or one molecule of CO2. Now we can say if we have 1 mole of calcium carbonate, or it will give 1 mole of CaO and 1 mole of CO2. Now you know that what is the mass of 1 mole of calcium carbonate? That is 100 gram. What is the mass of 1 mole of calcium oxide? That is 56 gram. What is the mass of 1 mole of carbon dioxide? That is 44 gram. So from here you can see that 100 gram of calcium carbonate can give 56 gram of calcium oxide and 44 gram of carbon dioxide. So from here we can calculate how much amount of carbon dioxide can be formed by 5 kg of calcium carbonate, because 100 gram will give 44 gram, then 1 gram will give 44 by 100, that is 0.44 gram. So if you want to calculate for 5 kg or 100 kg or 1 gram or 2 gram or 50 gram, we can calculate it easily. So stoichiometry, it will give a ratio in which the elements or reactants combine together. So whether it is the ratio of number of moles or the ratio of masses or the ratio of volumes in case of gases. So hope you have understood it. Similarly, in case of gases, if you want to calculate the volume, you can also calculate it. For example, N2 plus 3H2, it is a gas, will form 2NH3. So you can see 1 mole of nitrogen or 1 volume of nitrogen will give 2 mole of ammonia, and it combines with 3 mole of hydrogen gas. So you know that 1 mole of nitrogen, what is the mass of 1 mole of nitrogen? That is 28 gram. Now there are 3 moles of hydrogen. You know that what is the molecular mass of hydrogen? That is 2. So molar mass of hydrogen is 2 gram. There are 3 moles, so it will be 6 gram. And what is the mass of ammonia? That is 17 gram. Molar mass of ammonia is 17 gram. So 17 into 2, that will be 34 gram. So it is 34 gram. So you can see 28 gram of nitrogen will react with 6 gram of hydrogen, and it will give 34 gram of ammonia. You also know that all of these are gases. So at same temperature and pressure, the volumes of a gas. So you know that if the volume are considered, you will use Gay-Lussac's law, that is 1 volume of nitrogen will combine with 3 volume of hydrogen, and it will give 2 volume of ammonia. Or you can say, you know that what is the volume of 1 mole? That is 22.4 liter. It will be the volume of 3 mole, that is 3 into 22.4 liter, and it will be 2 into 22.4 liter, that is 44.8 liter. So you can see from here that 22.4 liter will give 44.8 liter. So hope you have understood. Now you can also see that 28 gram, the volume of 28 gram is this. It means 28 gram will also give 44.8 liter of ammonia. So hope you have understood the relationship. Now from here we can calculate how much volume of ammonia can be formed with the particular amount of nitrogen and hydrogen. So if the amount of nitrogen is given in grams, you can calculate the volume or in gram, because 28 gram of nitrogen will give 34 gram of ammonia, or you can say 28 gram of nitrogen will give 44.8 liter of ammonia. So the relationship also goes here, the relationship also goes here, and the relationship also goes here. So with the relation of mass, there is a relation of number of moles, mass, and volume of the products. Similarly, opposite case, that its mass or its number of moles are also related there, like this. So hope you have understood how can we calculate the relationship between the reactants and products with the help of stoichiometry. So this is all in this video. In the next video, we will discuss the numerical problems based on stoichiometry and empirical formula. Thank you very much.